All right. Hey, everyone. I am back in the building. And guess what? I'm not home. And it's kind of trippy. I'm out here looking for a new place, etc. And I almost didn't go live this week, to tell you the truth. Let me know if my sound is good to go. Let me know down in the chat. This is kind of a last minute impromptu live stream. I wasn't supposed to go live this week, as I just mentioned, because I wanted to dedicate time to, well, not be online really and just take a quick little break. But I decided, hey, I got an hour or two. Let me jump on there on my stream, say hi to everybody. As you may notice, I only have my horizontal stream going. I'm not doing the vertical for the Let's Talk Photography podcast for a bunch of reasons. But with all that said, I wanted to share with you what we're going to be discussing today. But if you're in here, please give yourself a round of applause. All right. I want to say thank you all for tuning in for another episode of Let's Talk Photography podcast. Now, this week is interesting. Okay. So first and foremost, I want to say, let me get this thing going. Stupid thing. There we go. I want to say, hey, everyone, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Photography podcast. This week, we'll be talking about Profoto embracing AI. And guess who's mad about that? Now, China launches a photography theme train tour and Nikon Z9 Mark II. Now, is it real or just another rumor? With all that, we're going to be talking about those things and, of course, whatever it is you feel like talking about down in the chat. So let's get into the show. All right. Woo, look at that. I still got things going, man. I tell you, shout out to StreamYard. They helped me keep this train going. I'll tell you, it still allows a lot of functions. I got some sound effects over here, so I could still keep that going. Now my camera is just off my MacBook Pro, so forgive me. I have a little light right here, a light panel, and then I tried to do some lighting in this room, and as you can tell, it's freaking echoey as hell in here. So either way, I'm just trying to make do. So I hope you can, well, understand. Shoot. All right. So let's get to some comments before we get into the show. First, we have Nick coming in saying hello. Good to see you, man. It really is. We got King Crook saying evening, Rob. Good to see you. And Roy Bigsby down under. There you go. Hey. Hey, I really appreciate seeing you for real. And then we have Davey Z9 Mark II. Haha. Well, you never know, but hey, sometimes when there's smoke, there's fire. So we're going to talk about that. And then we also have Roy come back in, said sounds fine, which is great. I just purchased this thing. Okay, check this out. I just got myself the DJI Mic Mini. All right. And I'm going to have to say, so far, so good. Very easy connection. It's definitely a nice way to stream or to use audio when you're on your cell phone or on my laptop. I knew it would be much better than using the microphone built into the MacBook. And guess what? It's on sale right now for only $79. Okay. Really can't beat it. It comes with the dead cats and a bunch of other stuff. I'm sure you've seen reviews about this mic, but if you just want something simple, plug and play with noise cancellation, hey, $79, can't beat it. That's when what was it? It said it's 55% off. So that lets me know they're probably working on like a newer version or something. Knowing my luck, that always happens. When I bought the DJI RS3 Pro gimbal, like the 4 came out. When I bought the what else did I buy? I bought something in the next thing. Oh, I bought the GoPro 12. The 13 came out. I'm like, golly. Okay. So knowing them, because they have a 55% off sale on Amazon, this thing's probably going to go, to the next, what is it? The next version. Okay. So, but for $79, you can't beat it, man. It really isn't. So if you like the audio sound, you just plug it in to the USB-C port of my laptop and I'm good to go. All right. We got Nick saying hello again. We got Roy saying me too, but my mini mic isn't here yet. Hey, awesome. I'm telling you, this thing is pretty cool. I like that it's super small, really. I don't need all the bells and whistles for creating content on a go. And also, this is going to allow me to create some really nice audio while doing live photo shoots, live photo shoots. So it's really nice, charging case and everything. So, anywho, they didn't give me any plug, whatever. I just figured it delivered today, and I want to share it with all of you. All right. If you are curious, let me do that for you guys because I love you guys. All right. Let me see this here. Let's go to my orders, and then Mike, and I'll put this in the chat. If anybody needs a very inexpensive lav mic, I'm telling you, you can't beat these. You can't beat them. $79, DJI. Okay, get them while you can in America. Okay, so DJI mic mini, boom. Look at that. And like I said, they're still on sale right now. $79. Okay, I just posted the link. All right, guys, there you go. You see the link? Let me go to my chat here. Let me go to my stream, and I will pin it so that in case anybody wants it, there we go. I just pinned it. It's down up in this super chat. In the live chat. Okay. All right. Oh, there we go. Okay. Thank you, Randy. Thank you very much. Hey, $79, man. Let's be honest. That's pretty killer deal. It's a pretty killer deal. All right. And you get 2 mics. So, and you could connect this to your camera. Like, you don't need it to be USB-C. It comes with a 2.5 headphone, a 2.5 millimeter headphone jack, so you could put it into your camera too. It's the no frills mic, really is. Oh, dope, Randy. Okay, you got the white one. Nice. Yeah, I just got this one. Hey, I didn't see it in white. I just saw the black, and look, I love it. I love it. It's really nice. I have the original mic, DJI mic lav. And the reason why I also got this is because I can also connect Bluetooth to the Action 6, which I'm planning on getting in the future, and the Pocket 3. And I like that. Okay, I can't do that with my GoPro. King Crux says, give us the full scoop on the Z9 II, Rob. We going to have to drop a bag. You already know it, man. You already know it's going to be a hefty bag for the Z9 II. If it's even real. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Roy says, nice that it comes in a charging box. Yeah, it comes with a charging box, and it comes with dead cats. It comes with 2 dead cats, charging box, and the little, look at this here, the little magnet. The only thing it doesn't come with is a 2.5 millimeter jack in there, so you could use like a little lapel mic, but it's all good. For $79, come on, who's complaining, right? So we got Cooley Presley in the house. Yes. Hey, you know what? What's up with you? And I'm excited for the Z9 II. Hey, I am as well, Rainey. And that's awesome. Yeah, the white. Oh, that's a great idea. The white one for the brides. That's a very good one. And the black one you could use for the groom, right? Okay, Randy, you say, I'll more than likely pick it up in 2030. Yeah, wow. Okay, well, put it on layaway. You'll be good to go by 2030. I'm hyped for the next video camera from Nikon. I am too. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope they come hard in the paint and give us all the accoutrements, because they can. They got the tech. Okay, they definitely have the demand to back it up, the investment of the technology. Let's do it, right? They're already giving us great codecs, the N-Log, the N-RAW, ProRes RAW, ProRes RAW, and the Reg codec. So you might as well just go hard in the paint and give us everything else. Let's see false colors. Let's see open gate for sure. They're already giving us 4K, 60, and 60, and 6K at 60 frames, 0 crop. Nikon's pretty much there. What else is there? Oh, Fajar says, hello, good morning from ahead of the time zone. I know. Right now, I'm over in the East Coast, and it's 8 p.m. right now. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time now. Roy says, hey, I'm really happy with the Z8, Z9, and no rush for a Z9 II. I'm really curious. Okay, I didn't go deep dive into the specs yet. I want to do that with all of you. So we're going to get there in a second, okay? What that is and how big of a deal it may be, right? Because again, It's all rumors. It's just speculation right now. But you know what? It's fun to speculate on what could or could not be included in the Z9 II. Um, I would like a top handle like the C50. Ooh, that would be nice if Nikon came out with a dedicated cinema camera. It'd be like they need to come out with like a baby red, meaning red sensor, red codec, which you already have, and like a baby version. That would be like pretty awesome. And get rid of the Komodo, keep the Komodo X, but like, yeah, a baby version would be dope. Okay. Um, Hey, Nick. He said, "Welcome to the East Coast." Yeah, I'm sitting here in snow, man. I mean, I can't believe the snow and the driving in the snow, much different than California. Fashar says, "I'm 12 hours away from you. I'm closer to Roy." Wow. There you go. And Cooley says, "Is there a good way to?" Oh, shoot, guys. I'm so sorry. There we go. Let's blow that up. Is there a good way to go wireless from camera to laptop, not using Cam Ranger? A good way to go wireless from camera to laptop. Camera to laptop. Honestly, I have never even tried that. I usually do tethered just for a dedicated connection, probably a much more reliable connection, quite honestly. I mean, I like the Nikon app, but it is kind of not as reliable as I'd like. So I rather have a direct connection. But so I'm not sure, Cooley. Rainey says, I'm happy with the Z8 and Z9. Hey, those two are phenomenal cameras. If you got it, you might as well just keep it. Rainey says that camera would be about 45 to 5,000. Oh, off top, if it was a Z9 II, because of the, what do you call it? The not inflation, it's that tax, you know, I would think it would be closer to $6,000 because of that tariff, because of the tariff. We got NYCFX watching from New York City. Hey, I'm actually in your time zone, NYCFX. I'm over here in the Detroit area. Fajar says usually flagship is update in around 4 to 5 years. The transition from D3 to D4 is the longest. You don't consider D3s, and you know what? And it's about that time, right? Because I believe it was 2001 or so. So it's about getting there, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to pick it up. King Krug, Rob, I'm with you. I'm ready to ride with the Z9 II. Oh my God, my pockets wouldn't be. Rainey says, not the Z9 II, the next video camera. Yeah, no. You're absolutely right. Something that's absolutely dedicated to the to video, like straight up cinema camera. A box style would be awesome. Mark Tisdale says, Rob, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. Hey, congrats on the 10-pound drop, brother. And Roy says, I bought a Cine back from the ZR. First time use. It proved to be a fake, and the top cheese board broke off the body. Ouch. That sucks. That sucks. Rainey says, on a side note, Nikon needs to give an updated battery for the Z9 cameras. Rainey says, I have seen many issues with those batteries. You know, I didn't have any issues with the two. I had two of the batteries. I never had any issues with it per se, but at the same time, I use the Z8 a lot more just due to the form factor and the size. So, where is it? I'm ready. Oh, Mark Tisdale's like, I'm ready for the Z82. Ooh, well, I mean, in true form, they might come out with the Z9 II first, and then drop that Z8 II right afterwards. Would probably mirror the same specs and everything like last time. I hope they keep that trend going, because then we really have great options in terms of what form factor you'd rather go with. King Krug. Also, Rob, I'm hearing a big buzz in a ZR sensor full body camera with V&D XLR inputs. Now, that would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal. That would be the ZR I would actually really want. XLR inputs? Damn. If it has two, that would be crazy. It'd have one, it'd be crazy. V&D built in, oh, that would be crazy. Fajar, some folks treat ZR as their GR3. not as small. But I think if they're gonna do a rangefinder style, ZR is a good start to tweak. I usually watch Bokeh Therapy with Jack Wong, Street Photos. Okay, I'll check them out. I will check that out. I like the ZR, but I felt like there's a lot of things that they should have just went hard with, right? With that nice new form factor and everything. There has been some things that they should have just added in there because they're just like right there. They should have done it. Full HDMI would have been nice. Better. I don't. I don't like dedicating a screen to maneuver through the menu and everything. I like a joystick more. That's just me. If not, just go straight to box camera and call it a day. Roy says, I'm more likely to believe the lens rumors than a Z9 II or Z8 II. Okay. But this year, think about like camera bodies. Where can they really improve? Maybe APS-C, maybe, I'm telling the Z8, Z9 II are kind of in line with the timeline, right? It kind of matches up. So it's been about 4 or 5 years. Okay. Let's see here. I'm more likely to believe the lens rumors than a Z. Oh, okay. Excuse me. I just read that. And then we have Amia saying, I think Nikon is going to show those cinema lenses this year. I think that would be a phenomenal step forward in lenses, just as they did with the ZR and implementing the R3D codec. Coming this year with actual Nikon Z cinema lenses would be crazy, because I've been hearing a lot of talk about autofocus cine lenses more. So if Nikon did something like that, that would be groundbreaking. They just like, screw it. Our first set are going to be autofocus cine lenses. That would be mind blowing. That'd be crazy. Oh shoot, I think okay. King Krug says Z8 and Z9 still at the top for me. Absolutely, they're still great, and they're having great discounts on them. Like you can get them for great prices now too. Let me add D850. Yeah, the D850 is always going to be the best DSLR ever made, hands down. I don't care what anybody says. Phenomenal camera. Hold on. Whoa. There we go. Okay, Roy says, I like the ZR and I'm hoping firmware will fix some little things. ZR2 needs a real switch and a full-size HDMI. Yeah, no, I totally agree. It needs that and more buttons on the back. Okay, more buttons on the back. I know they were trying to save in real estate. I wouldn't mind if the ZR2 was slightly bigger, if it included that full HDMI, and so forth and so on. Okay. Rakesh is in the house. Good to see you, man. Good evening to you. And we got Davey saying Z82, well needed, replacing all buttons on top left with wheel screen and EVF dedicated to dial. Oh yeah, that sounds good. And Fajar says, I think I found it. Somewhere they had 5 lens silhouette with same length as in size. Yeah, I know that when it was like Z Cinema, Fajar, that might be the Cine set. But then we also have 12300 to 8 rumor. That would be crazy. That'd be nice. It'd be expensive. And we got Pics by Patrick, Fuji shooter here, thinking about a second body Nikon ZF. Honestly, if you go from Fuji to the Nikon ZF, it would be a very nice transition for you, especially if you have like the XT5 or something, just due to the textile experience. And then you just get the Nikon innards. So I think that would be a great pairing for you and a smooth way to get on into the Z mount system. Okay. I actually enjoyed it. I like shooting it with video, but not as much as the Z6 Mark III. Okay. But for photos, like I said, after I move, I'm going to buy that ZF again. That's a fun camera. And you could get it used for $1,500. Okay. Pics by Patrick. Roy says, for the Z8, I'd like to see a ENL EF18 battery grip. That would be cool. Actually, I almost bought a grip like 2 weeks ago for the Z8, just so that I could have that experience like a Z9 without having to buy a Z9. I only need it for like, I don't know, runway fashion shows and stuff. But outside of that, I don't really shoot vertical. I won't need it all that much. But I was gonna buy a third party to be honest, okay, because it's like a third of the price. Amia, excuse, I'm probably saying that really wrong. Watching from Massachusetts. Hey, that's awesome. I'm over here in Detroit area, so cool. We're in the same time zone. And then Roy Bigsby says, I missed the LED lit buttons of the D850 and D5 bodies. Yeah, the light buttons are awesome. I like when they light up. That's really helpful, especially during weddings or low lit situations. And Randy says the main thing I went from the Nikon is vintage level glass for the ZF. Oh, you want, yeah, that'd be kind of cool. But I have so much fun using that ZF, man. I could put almost anything on there. When I bought that camera, I immediately bought the 24 to 120 f4 lens for the ZF, and I thought that was a great pairing for me. Rainey says, I enjoy using the camera more than the Z8 and Z9. It's super fun. It really is. And Rainey says, I picked up a manual Typoc lens for my ZF 28 1.4. Absolutely love it. That's dope. That's dope. I wonder, does it have a lot of vignetting at 1.4? That's the only thing I'm curious about. King Kruk says, I'm trying to transition from the DSLR to mirrorless, but live viewfinder, it's hard to give up. Yes, it is, but boy, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't missed it. Okay. Once you go mirrorless and you get the whole the ecosystem, the advantages of, yeah, there's so many technical advantages of mirrorless. I haven't missed it, and it hasn't slowed me down. So I think you'll be all right. Kid Krug says, Rob, you left the Bay. No, I haven't left the Bay, not yet. I'm in Detroit now. Well, things may be transitioning. So not yet, though. I'm just here for a week. Randy says, also, Nikon teased the cinema lens September last year, so I'm pretty sure they won't tease something that would take over a year to release. I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no, I don't know. But I heard some things, but I'm not going to say anything, okay? But just keep your eyes peeled. And of course, subscribe to this channel, all right? While we're going through some things, come on now, folks, you already know what time it is. Please make sure you go ahead and smash that like, share, and most of all, subscribe to this channel so that you get notified when I go live every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. Thank you all for sounding off in the chat. I always love to know where you're calling in from. Somebody's from Massachusetts. We got Philippines. We got everybody from everywhere. Okay. And that's what it's all about. We're just photo nerds talking about gear that we are tired of spending money on, but can't find a reason to stop doing it. So welcome to the club. Of course, one of the best ways to support this channel is by becoming a member. You click that join button down below. And what it does is it helps to support this channel on a monthly basis, but also you'll get invited to a private Discord photography chat space, and you will be have access to my monthly Coffee and Cameras members only podcast. Okay, so I'm about to host our second episode coming up, and members of this YouTube channel get to be a part of this conversation. Now, when it comes to Coffee and Cameras, that live stream is in the morning, so it would be like, dang it, what time did I do? Oh, it would be like 8 o'clock or something like that in the morning on the East Coast, and like 11 o'clock over there in the West Coast. So it's like kind of like you just wake up and I'm gonna have coffee. I don't know how you do it, but aside from coffee, we'll be just talking loosely about cameras and just kind of keep it loosey-goosey and have a good time for about an hour or so. Okay. So, but with all that said, that's a members only podcast. And if you join this channel, you get to be a part of that conversation right there. All right. Anywho, we are blazing off, and let me make sure I'm caught up with everything here. Uh, Mark Tisdale says, I almost bought third-party grip for Z8, but heard reviews of it killing the camera, not turning on. Ooh. Hey, thanks for sharing that news. Roy says, I get a grip, but it's more bulkier than a Z9. Yeah, it is. But the good part about the grip, even though it is more bulkier technically than the Z9, you could take it off. So you do have that option, right? So when you feel like it's a little too much, take it off. And when you're ready to use it, put it back on. Roy says, because of battery life, when I first went mirrorless, I bought battery grips for each camera, but now I got used to less battery life, except the Z9. Okay. Yeah, I don't really, I mean, most things I do, like fashion shows or a photo shoot, I may go like a battery and a half, right? I always carry at least 3 batteries, but I never killed two batteries in my experience. Okay, so Rakesh says, looks like Robert, you are in a different place for no, not for a shoot. I'm actually looking at different places to relocate in the US, and we're here for a week looking at places, seeing how we like it, and then I may make that jump. Um the Bay Area is great. I love it, but it is very, very, very expensive. And I love my lifestyle. I like being a photographer. I like being a creator and dedicating my time to sharing and creating content. And if you want to do that, you have to give up somewhere. And tell you the truth, I'm not really giving up a whole lot by leaving California. Okay. It is super expensive and I don't see much in return. So, long as I'm still in America, I'll be all right. And I'm gonna still be going live. Look, I'm on vacation right now, and I'm still live at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I got you guys. We got picks by Patrick. What would be a good beginner, budget friendly, full frame Nikon that would compete with? Honestly, with the XT5. Well, obviously they're gonna be full frame. So if you're not doing the ZF, try this Z5 Mark II. It's $1,500, $1,600 brand new. Z5 Mark II. And if you're real dangerous, go do the Z6 Mark III. It'll smash both those cameras. Okay. But if you want to keep it like under $2,000, Z5 Mark II would be a fun little packaged Z camera. It's like a miniature Z6 III, basically. Great, nice autofocus, great for vlogging, creating content. But if you want that same tactile, like experience of XT class cameras, then you want to go get the ZF. Great images, super fun to use, flippity dippity screen, and it's full frame. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with the ZF. And again, you can buy it used now for $1,500. I've seen them for that price. Well worth it. King Kruk, Rob, you seem like you may be in Miami, like Uncle Luke. Oh, I wish I was, man. That'd be awesome if I was. No, no, no. I definitely plan on revisiting Miami for like swim week. After all the dust settles and I transition to a new place. So, I'll trust me, I'll go live too. So you already know, Kid Kruk. If I'm in Miami hanging out, I'll still go live. Davey says, I'll never move back to the East Coast. The snow is trippy as hell, but I'm in more in the suburbs. I dig the suburb. I'm not gonna lie. I dig the more slower pace, quality of life, like chiller vibes. I'm at home so much making content or doing what I'm doing. So the snow doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would, to tell you the truth. So, but that's just me. I grew up in Long Island, so snow didn't bother me then either. Let's see here. All right, look at that. We're actually caught up. Who would have thought? I can't believe it. Let's get on over to, let's see here. Oh, by the way, everybody, I just dropped a new video. If you haven't seen it or checked it out, I asked the question, is social media worth it for photographers in 2026? And it was just the thought of mine because I've become way more frustrated with social media this year more than ever because you spend so many hours making content, putting it out there, and then you're like, what's the return when a lot of these platforms algorithm aren't really designed to benefit photographers specifically. If you're a filmmaker or you create video content, especially vertical content, um, then I think you're going to be better off. But if you're like an awesome hobbyist and you just love taking still images, a lot of these platforms just aren't built for us anymore, even though they got popular off the backs of creatives or still photographers. Like Instagram, that it was based off of photographers sharing their favorite pics or people sharing their favorite pics of whatever was going on. And now it seems like they just want quick instant gratificative kind of content like TikTok. They just copy in TikTok, and TikTok dumbs you down so much. And like one thing I noticed like on social media was like you used to go to YouTube and learn and listen to these things called tutorials. You say, oh, how do I do three lighting? Like I want to learn how to light portraits in different creative ways, like three different ways to light a portrait with a single light. And you would watch a video that's about 10 minutes or something like that. Now it's like a 15-second video that's just like three ways, boom, 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 done. And it's just like, it's so cheap. It dumbs down the educational and learning process for the viewer for sure, because there's no nuance, there's no context in between each of those shots. How do you position the lighting? What kind of softbox and why this and not that and stuff like that. And so you lose so much in the photography experience of trying to learn. If I was a new photographer now, no wonder everybody looks so much the same when they're shooting, because you're learning from the same people. Everybody's rinse and repeating. They want instant gratification. They want to be a phenomenal professional like today. And for me, it's taken me almost 15 years. And if you ever sit with me and try to learn something, it's not instant. Like there's a mindset that I go about approaching how I like my subjects and everything else. Because guess what? No one was around teaching me. I had to just figure this shit out by making a bunch of bad photos. So when we look at vertical videos for 15, 20 seconds, you lose all that experience of creating bad photos and then researching how do I improve myself. And we've increased the process versus slowing down the process of learning the craft of photography. It's a craft. It's a craft. It's not a fucking trend. What the hell? And it's all these algorithms treat it as a trend. And if it's not a trend, then guess what? Your work won't get pushed. And me being a professional and also an educator in a sense, YouTube is really built for what I do best. And that's why I really concentrated a lot of my stuff, especially the past 3 months, just to YouTube, because this is where I really get enjoyment. But like Instagram, I'm like, I'll post, it's whatever. TikTok, are you kidding me? It's a joke. And as many of you know, I deleted Twitter. So either way, it's my little ranty rant about the difficulties, the realistic difficulties of photographers in social media, or our relationship between social media in 2026. So I'd love to hear your comments. Go to the video, post them down in the comment section. All right. Anyway, I'm getting on my soapbox. Let me check out some of these comments before we get to the news. Rakesh says Z5 Mark II with $250 discount now is awesome deal. Yeah, exactly, Rakesh. That's why I was saying, I said, get that Z5 Mark II. You get great autofocus, nice and compact, lightweight. You'll be just fine. Even better if you can pick up a refurbished from Nikon site. I've seen them going for $1,200 to $1,300. That's great. All right. Dang it, with Pics by Patrick. You hear that? Pics by Patrick. See, that's a second endorsement from Rakesh. Z5 Mark II. Okay. See, I'm not just talking here because I got an awesome bald head. King Kruk. What about a D700 successor? A Z700. Ooh. That would be nice. Boy, that would be nice. I did love my D750. My first full frame. Mark Tisdale, snowing in Delaware right now. It was snowing here earlier today. And then all of a sudden the sun came out like an hour before sunset. It was crazy. Davey says, "Oh, I always wonder why you kind of had that Jamaican swagger. You probably had some Jamaican friends over there in Long Island." You know what? In Long Island, I had like a motley crew. Okay, we got a couple blacks, a Puerto Rican, a couple of Italians. Like we were just a motley crew. We were a hot mess, and I loved them all. Had a great time. And truth be told, we're all. Look, New York is so diverse. Everybody's influenced by everybody. Okay. You had black kids loving Chinese martial art films, and you had Asians, listening to Wu Tang, and everybody's influenced by everybody, especially in New York. You cannot not be influenced by each other. NYC Effects, 8:30 p.m. in New York City. Hey man, I feel you. I feel you. I thought I'd be super tired streaming this late, because when I make the transition to the East Coast of things, I'm gonna have to stream at this time of night. So I better get used to it. Let's see. Roy says vertical videos are only for people that lay down a lot. Oh yeah. I can't, that's why I didn't stream vertical. I tried it out for like 3 months, and I was like, you know what is this doing to me? Because on the playback, we want to see horizontal. And I was like, what am I doing? So I took it off. I'll still stream like on the photo shoots. Maybe I'll do vertical, whatever. But like my podcast, I'm gonna keep it all horizontal. What was I thinking? But you got to try it to know whether you like something, right? Picks by Patrick. Yes, sir. I hear. Can't wait to get an icon. Hey, Picks by Patrick. When you do, brother, either DM me on Instagram. Okay, I want to see that picture now. I want to see that new Nikon picture, or hit me up somewhere else. You can email me too. That's all good. Okay, my email's down in the description. All right. King Krug says vertical video have not dominated like folks told us for years. It did if you're under 30. It did. That's a fact. Okay. That's a fact. When I watch stuff like this, I feel like claustrophobic. I want to know what's going on the left and the right side of the frame so much. Like this is our eyes are like this. Okay. So like I want to see wide. So anywho, just me on my old man soapbox. That's it. That's all. Roy says, all cameras are good these days. Go with what suits you and what you're enjoying. Hey, you're right about that, Roy. That's why I kind of suggested to him to get the ZF, right? Because you'll still get that tactile experience with the dials, and then also great photo results. I always enjoyed what I got out of the Nikon ZF, like every time. It was fantastic. And I miss it so. Okay. NYC Effect says YouTube pays. That it does. You're definitely in a better space, but I'll tell you one thing about YouTube. First, they penny pinch everything. Okay. If you guys send me a super chat, they're taking 30% off top. And they do so when you become a member. They take their cut for sure. But the thing is that the potential is much higher. And if you're posting horizontal videos like we're watching right now, they pay per view better than vertical. Like huge difference. So if you're going to start creating content, do it on YouTube. There is nothing beats YouTube. I don't care. Okay. And then also you get the benefit of the Google algorithm, so which is much bigger than just YouTube. You get Google. So there you go. Roy Bigsby says, I have a list of camera brands that didn't survive me. Dang. You're tough. You're tough, Roy. You don't play. Gee whiz. All right. Let's see. We're looking pretty good, actually. Davey, do you think they'll incorporate Red Raw in the Z8 II? Honestly, think if you're going to have a Z8 II, Z8 II, Z9 II, yes, they're going to incorporate the same codec that's inside of the ZR. I can almost guarantee you it. Because it'll be another selling point for you to trade up, right? Trade in your old one. It'll be another selling point for anyone to buy into that camera system if they're not already in a Z8 or something like that. So yes, absolutely. I think the ZR popularity, because I've noticed with Nikon, is that when certain new feature jumps onto a camera and people really gravitate it with positive feedback, they tend to implement it in other in other brand. I mean, throughout their line, in the latest line cameras. So the only thing is that until we have a red sensor with a red codec, it won't be truly red, but it will be a phenomenal B camera to a red camera. Okay. So long as you know that, you're going to kick some serious butt. Now, most of you schmoes out there on my stream, okay, only 13 of you, won't be shooting red all the dang time. Okay, maybe King Kruk, because I know he shoots video, but even though I don't have red, but I have ProRes RAW, etc. And I tested out the ProRes RAW, and I'm telling you, in 45 minutes of shooting little snippets, I shot over 400 gigs worth of video, and that's just ProRes RAW. Okay, so most of you out there won't be shooting red or R3D codec often, unless you're doing commercial work and the client's paying for you to suffer with all that dang data. Okay, once in a while it'll be cool, but and people forget, like, just because your camera shoots raw, do you know how to edit it? Like, you have to know how to post process and color grade, like really color grade. It's an art form in itself. Okay. So just know what you're getting into. I do believe in buying a camera for future proofing your skill set. So if you buy a camera that has more features and more color codec options than you really understand and know how to use, but you want to get to that point eventually, absolutely go for it. 100%. Absolutely. Okay. But I know the reality is once you realize how much data is created, dude, you're going to be like, nah, I'm good. I'll just use like ProRes LQ or something, like something not too heavy. Anywho, if I'm wrong, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Davey says, at the same time, do you think it is possible to be in the current Z8 with a firmware update? I don't really see why not, because it's really just a color profile. That's what we're getting, like, so it already does 12-bit internally with NRAW. So what's 12-bit R3D? It's just a color profile. So I could be wrong. I'm not an engineer, but I think they're going to hold, if they're smart, they'll wait until the Z8 II or Z9 II, drop it in there, because they'll cannibalize potential sales from people who may trade up and say, screw it, I already got the upgrade. I'm happy where I'm at. Davey says, what? Oh, yes, sir. It takes up a lot of data. Yes, it is mind-boggling. People get really giddy, like, oh, a mini red. I was like, dude, I don't think you're ready for this life. Okay, you're not, because I'll tell you one thing, I don't do it. All right, but most of my stuff is photos, and even when I shoot my short films, I may do it then, but Lord, okay, make sure you invest in that good old storage. King Kruk says, I film 95% of my stuff in 8K R3D. 5% is OK R3D NE. Oh, is 6K, excuse me. 5% is 6K R3D NE. Dang, King Kruk, that's crazy. I can't even imagine how much space or how many drives you have. You must have NAB systems all over the place. Anthony Good in the house saying the live stream is good, bro. Hey, thank you so much. It's straight from my laptop. Who would have thought? My little laptop is kicking butt today. MacBook Pro, shout out to Apple. And I'm using and again, you saw what's pinned to the top of the live chat. I'm using the DJI Mic Mini. If you dig the sound, you want something that's easy to use, well, guess what? Go check it out. It's only $79. Anyway, King Kruk, agreed, Rob, you're crushing this MacBook image quality. Dude, I don't know what it is. I was really worried. And I got a here. You know what it is, I think, King Kruk and Anthony? It is having a good key light. Having a good key light. Because this is just straight off the Mac, right? But I have a little light panel. A little light panel. Let me show you guys. Nothing special here. Okay. Look at this little light panel. Okay. And I have it angled 45 degrees down. You know how we do it because we're nerds. And that's all. That's it. That's it. That's all. Okay. Let me put this. I have it continuously powered through a USB-C. So it stays on. At least I pray it will. All right. Anyway. And the other thing is when I'm using this as a key light, I have the backlighting at a different color temperature. So I make sure that so it creates some sort of depth. I did that on purpose, by the way, folks. Okay. Anywho, oh boy. Okay. Roy says, I liked it better when Nikon used to give us what we need instead of what we think we want. Yes, but you know what? Times are tough and they gotta really balance out that spreadsheet, okay? And they have been doing a great job the past few years. Like after the shutdown, they've been knocking it out of the park. I just think a few things they should have just kept going. They should have just keep swinging for the fences. Give us false colors. Lumix did it and Canon did it. Okay. Oh, there we go. My stream is looking a little. Uh-oh. Let me check my stuff now. Check my stuff. All right, there we go. We're back in the game. So Lumix did it and then Canon did it. Nikon, give us false colors. You could do it and we'll love you for it. Rainey says, the ZR is so tempting. I sold my drone this week to use that money to buy it. Oh, snap. Trust me, the ZR is tempting to me too. I just feel like if I spend that money when I really want more of a cinema camera, like a dedicated video camera, I'll just be upset that went to $2,000 there. And it's almost what I want. I'd be better off getting a Pixel 6K or something. Rainey's, let's say, I love the fact of no overheating. That's awesome. Yeah, that new firmware is great. 6 hours straight. I would never freaking do that, but somebody out there needs it. David says, upgraded my MacBook Pro, and now I am learning DaVinci Resolve. Awesome, man. That's good news. I'm still trying to learn DaVinci Resolve too. I've primarily used Adobe Premiere for years. I'm so comfortable with that program, and now I'm learning how to swim again, with the DaVinci. Roy says, my laptop hasn't been the same since I dropped the Z9 on it. Ooh, sorry to hear that. And Kruk, if you didn't mention the MacBook Pro, I believe you were on camera, lens setup. Oh, that's what's up, man. I really think it's just because it's proper lighting. The better the lighting, the better performance. You guys know how low or small sensors go. You just need tons of light for it to look decent. Where am I? Oh, Davey. There we go. Yes, the new MacBook cams are very good. Yeah, I'm very shocked. I wish I could control some depth of field while in StreamYard. That'd be nice. I could do it in Zoom calls and stuff and make it a little bit blurrier. But hey, I think it looks pretty solid for now. No complaints, really. Where are we? Rainey says, yeah, I have the same feeling too. I'm trying to hold out. Yeah, that's the thing. I just swear that God, it's so right there. I don't want to jump on the bandwagon. I want to kind of really give it some serious thought. I like the form factor. I like the screen. That's cool. 32-bit flow audio is really nice. I've done well without it, so it's not that's a huge selling point. I wish it had the false colors. I wish it had full HDMI. A top handle like that C50 would be dope, right? That would be a great selling point. A top handle like the C50, that'd be pretty raw. Let's see. Okay, we are looking pretty good. We're looking good. All right, let's get into. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like, share, all that good stuff. Matter of fact, if you guys give me a quick second, I just have to run to the restroom real quick, and then we're gonna get into today's news. Okay. Of course, keep the chat live, keep it going. All chat matters and all that good stuff. All right. I'm going to go to run to the restroom real quick and then we're going to get into the news. Okay. I'll be right back. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Okay. So let me make sure the audio is good to go. Appreciate everything. Sorry about that. Cool. All right. I text my other half over here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Again, if you enjoy this kind of content and you want to support this channel in the most easiest way, that's by pressing this like, the share, and of course, subscribing to the channel and hit that bell icon so that I don't have to hear you say, hey, I didn't know you went live. All right. Let's check out these comments before we get to the news. Oh, okay. Cool, 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 cool. Audio is good. Thank you, Rainey. All right, cool. All right, let's get to the first bit of news. First. Oh, okay. Here we go. First thing is, let's get to here. Nice. Look at this. Look at this news right here. All right. Boom, boom. Look at that. China launches first photography themed tourist train with onboard photo shoots. Now, this is interesting because if it was any closer, I might go check this out just to have, see if this thing works. So it says China Railway operator has introduced a photography themed tourist train that offers passengers professional photo shoots as part of the journey. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. Okay. China Railway Harbin Group launches first photography themed tourism train. You've been to places where they're just like tired of people with cameras messing up the vacation experience of whatever it is, tourist destination. Well, now they're encouraging it. Running between Harbin and Yabali in whatever province, this service known as Train Y783 began operating on January 25th. According to numerous Chinese media outlets, the photography themed train is being described as the first of its kind in the country. This is pretty cool. With photo shoots? God, they look at that. It looks like they have props, clothes, and everything. Now, of course, these folks look like they're just having a silly time, but there's some cool potential to this. It looks pretty cool. The trainer is reportedly designed to combine rail travel with a structured photography experience. Passengers can take part in complimentary photo shoots during the journey with professional photographers available on board. Very cool. But I already know they're going to be emailing me from the other side of the planet talking about when can I get my photos. To support the photography theme, China Railway Harbin Group has refurbished the carriages and expanded interior spaces to create multiple backdrops. This is cool. You know, these include themes such as ice and snow scenes and European style designs. The aim is to give passengers a range of photo shoot options. That is pretty cool. Let me see. Let me see if I can turn. Oh, let's turn that off. All right, look at that. Look at the video. Okay, you get on board. Right. Let me see. There we go. See if this can help you guys. Oh, turn that off. Turn that off. There we go. Oh, I can't see the top portion. Various costumes, experience, and free travel. Yada, yada. Okay, there we go. Very cool. Dang. I mean, I don't know, but I would like to give it a shot, see what it's like. It'd be kind of cool. I'd like to see better lighting though, but like professional grade, like LEDs or at least, but still kind of cool. Where did that? Now, how do I get out of here? For heaven's sakes. Nope, we are done. There we go. Cool. A demand for curated photography experiences. Photography begins as soon as passengers arrive with the stationary train at the platform used as an initial backdrop. After photos are taken, staff assist passengers in selecting the images they want. Pretty cool. So what do you guys think about that idea? Is it annoying? Is that annoying? I don't know. Let me know what you think down below. What do you think? Would you be a photographer at least one time on a photographer themed train tour? It sounds pretty interesting, at least to me. Okay. Let's see here. By the way, Rainey says, wish memory card prices are up. Oh yeah. We will see cameras be affected. Everything's going up in price. It's ridiculous. I saw a price today that was on sale, but it was the regular price that it was before all these stupid tariffs. If you're here in America, it's absolutely annoying. It's like, oh, we're giving you a discount. It's like, no, that's the regular price. That is the regular price. The sale price is the regular price. Rainey says, tourist train, very interesting. And picks by Patrick. China just winning in everything right now. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. I would definitely do it at least once to just like give it a shot, right? I think it'd be kind of cool. And Roy Bigsby says, people unfriendly to photographers. That's what tripod spikes are for. Yeah, exactly. Ding, ding, ding. Right? Keep them away, especially when they start asking for all the photos for free. Let me get the raw photos. No, man, you're going to get that tripod spike. Roy Bigsby says, with my luck, that train would have double glazed glass that don't open. Yeah. Knowing my luck, what would happen with me with my luck? I'd bring, I don't know, an 85 in that place. In that place, I would, what lens would I bring? 24 to 70. Because I'm not sure how much room you really have between you and the subject and you in the background, like the wall. So I'd probably use a 24 to 70 in that kind of situation. I was going to say a 24 to 120, but with F4, nah, you need as much light as you can get. If I was going to bring a prime on that train, it would for sure be a 35 and nothing tighter than a 50 for sure on that train. That's just me. That's my opinion. Okay. Now, let's get to the next piece of news. Let's get to the next one. All right. Oh, let me go over here. Boom, boom, boom. Dang, I hear that wind out there. That is no joke. It is no joke, folks. All right, next news. Bank. Here we go. Look at this. Profoto embraces AI. Okay, this is really like, this caught my attention. Okay, a world-renowned photography lighting company embracing AI, and of course, guess who's mad? All right, photographers, of course. Let's talk about it. Lighting company Profoto is the latest to throw photographers under the proverbial bus in an attempt to milk AI for all it's worth. Okay, the company has drawn ear on Irie, I don't know what that is, has drawn criticism on social media for what may consider a series of tone-deaf posts and comments. Okay, an increasing number of professional photographers feel directly threatened by AI, which is very natural because guess what? If you do headshots only, you should be very weary about AI disrupting and taking your job. Including the commercial, product, and fashion spaces, the industry is understandably on edge. This is why when companies that have long served creative professionals say things like skip the photo shoot or launch AI headshot generators, photographers, hackles are rised. Now, let me tell you something. What was it? A couple weeks ago? Who was it? It was Evoto. Evoto, I did the skip the photo shoot thing, right? And they were called to task when their whole business model is on the backs of photographers, and now they literally come up with an AI tool that replaces the very clients that are paying for their service. So that was Evoto, and I didn't give them a pass, obviously, but like them being more of a software-based company, I'm like, you're okay, you guys just did a huge misstep. But Profoto being a photography lighting company, yo, that is crazy that they would even entertain such a thing, which is extremely damaging to their clientele who are buying their overpriced, expensive crap. You know what I mean? So here it is. Only those who understand light can make AI generated images feel real, Profoto wrote on a now edited Instagram post. Right? Only those who understand light can make AI generated images feel real. Now here it goes. For photographer Inez Thompson, lighting direction, contrast, and intent define how AI interprets and extends an image. When the light is intentional, results feel believable. When it isn't, the illusion is broken. And here it is right here. Okay? There it is right there. 3 things to keep in mind. Lighting direction, contrast keeps images believable, and intent sharpens the mood. Yeah, well, they're literally encouraging you to further educate their models, their AI with Profoto and your photo. It's like you're only helping them become better at taking your job. Okay. And for Profoto to like be a part of that or even subliminally like, how can I say, almost try to normalize that is crazy work. Even though a lot of us use it, I use AI. I use it in the making thumbnails sometimes. I also use it for ideation and pre-production of my photo shoots, but I don't use it for my photo shoots like ever. Okay, that's me. I edit it. I take my time and do what I do. Okay, but yeah, I'm not combining the two during my photography process. That's just a no-no. Following the entirely predictable outcry from Profoto's customers, who are primarily real, actual professional photographers, the lighting company backpedaled because guess what? Who actually buys it? AI does not buy Profoto. It's real, actual professional photographers. They backpedaled, but not very gracefully or fully. All right, let's take a look. What does that? Okay, I can't turn it off. Okay, I can't play it without the audio. Won't let me play it without the audio because if I play it with the audio, my whole stream will get demonetized, and then I'm gonna be begging for super chats, everybody. Okay. All right. So it says update. At least we got your attention around AI. Our communication skills failed this time. Thank you for calling it out, holding us accountable, and being part of the conversation. Profoto wrote. We take your craft very seriously. It's as if like a mistake like this is as if they don't have photographers on their staff. It's crazy work, right? So I think a photographer or two who's been freelance could have looked at a potential post or their marketing and be like, that's probably not going to be received quite well, right? We take your craft very seriously. If you've seen the video and the conversation we've been driving last year, you know that this is not about replacing photography in image creation. It's about staying current in the technology shifts. And AI is part of everyone's reality these days. It is, it really is. But companies, I have a problem with AI when it starts replacing the creative process in terms of like, if I'm a photographer and I just say, hey, create a great image, and then I call myself a photographer, that's totally different than using AI to retouch your skin or to further enhance the sky you just shot yourself and took the time to shoot. Like that's totally different. To enhance, how can I say, to ideate, right? The pre-production aspect. How do I come up with this? I use it for scripts, for script writing, coming up with hashtags and ways to market the video better. But to replace the actual craft itself, that I can't be involved with or support for sure. So, all right. So, of course, photographers speak out. Look at this. What the are you guys doing? That's crazy. Edited by Petapixel for language, of course. Y'all just decided that you hate photography. Dang. You know, that's not a good response right there to hear. And this one too. What do you guys do? Photo industry is at the verge of collapsing because because of AI, and you decided to promote AI. You are aware that when photographers are gone, you are gone too. Okay. Polish photography studio Tulum replied. Okay, well there you go. That's a great point. Companies like that have to be aware that when we're gone, they're gone. Like Evoto too. Evoto didn't sell their products to schmoes who just want to retouch their own photos on their phone. Evoto sold their technology to us photographers and how to further enhance and make our workflow that much more efficient in post-production, right? So when they had to be very mindful of who's paying their bills around here. You guys are really missing the mark here. Adds photographer Brian Essler. As a former Profoto customer, I'm pretty glad I left for greener pastures now. Ooh, shoot, fire. I wish I had my sound effects, but that shot's fire. You're helping create a world where both lighting and people are dispensable, says photographer Graham Dowdy. Dang, we're both lighting and people. He's like, yeah, just you want lighting and people? Just go to AI. That's what it sounded like. I had planned to use my tax refund to buy a D30. I'm going to have to think of that. I'm going to have to rethink that. Photo equipment brands need to start supporting photographers now more than ever. And that's exactly my point too. I mean, it only sounds logical. So for companies to slowly make stupid mistakes like that is crazy. Just like we supported and invested in you, remarks photographer Rochelle Karanek of Two Love Studio in Toronto. Can't believe that I invested in Profoto equipment 15 years ago. This is such a betrayal to photographers who supported you. Yeah, it's a real big betrayal to photographers in general, especially those who paid that extra cost to have Profoto in their studio. It's freaking expensive. That's why I never did it. Those are just a sampling of dozens of comments from the disgruntled photographers who feel betrayed by Profoto. Yowzers. Okay? Yowzers. All right, let's go back to the comments here. Let's see what we're talking about. All right, everybody. We got some comments here. Davey says, NVIDIA said there won't be any new GPU releases this year because of the AI market taking up all the chips. That's actually a great point. I mean, We forget how much power it takes for them to do what they do. It was already disrupted with crypto right after the lockdown in 2020. Um, RAM was being bought up and everything. And now we have all these chips and everything for being used for AI. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. This is definitely a disruptor on all sorts of levels in different markets. Roy says AI is usually just marketing. Yeah, that's what I use it for, marketing really, but I don't use it to I do use it to create thumbnails. Okay, guys, guilty as charged. I do use it is pretty cool to come up with some really great ideas, and I upload my photo and maybe just give it some ideas, some prompts for thumbnails. Okay, so guilty as charged. All right, but no thumbnail design creator has lost their job from me because of my use of AI and creating thumbnails. I'm just putting it out there. All right, children. All right. King Crux says, Profoto, no, they did not. Yeah, I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I saw that today. I was like, dude, I gotta talk about this. Like, that is crazy to me. Crazy work. So King Crux says, they're about to get all the photographers smoke. Yeah, they are. Like, dude, I mean, I couldn't afford to really go hard in the paint with Profoto. So I was always a Godox. Like, Godox was like the second best option. Because hell, I can afford it. But man, if I had invested like I have in Godox in Profoto, and then I hear this, that'd be great. I'd be upset. EF Sue says, if you don't learn AI as tools for you to enhance your photography, you will be left behind. Absolutely. Again, great marketing tools, great ways to creatively enhance the image you already took, taking your idea to that next level. Absolutely. But replacing you as your photography altogether and just never having a camera and just coming up with photos that you can create through AI. No, I can't be for that. We got a drunk wedding photographer saying, a Mushi, good to see you. Pics by Patrick. I was lucky to get a crucial portable HD for cheap on Black Friday, and a few days later, price shot up. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm looking to replace my portable hard drives with SSD drives because they're just so much more reliable, but they're so much more expensive pound for pound. So tech is just going up. Everything's going up. And when you go to SSD, portable SSD, dude, like you want to talk about expensive, it's crazy, you know, really is. Rainy says, I have been Young Yo. Oh, okay. I got some Young Yo glass. I think I have like an 85 mil and something else. Then Godox, or good. What did it say? Godox? That's what John Ishii says, Godox. So I've been Godox for all this time. Never had an issue with their stuff. Love their stuff. I'm probably going to stick with them, quite honestly. And I love that the 2.4 gigahertz remote works with every light. So you could really like your speed light, your mini flashes, your studio strobes, like they just all work off the same trigger. I love that. Oh, he says never Profoto in Alien Bees. Dude, I started off with Alien Bees. I think I had was it the 400? Alien B 400, if that was a thing. I had two of them. That was my first, like my own pair. I had two Alien Bs. And then I finally got one Godox 8600, and the rest I've been with Godox the whole dang time. Rainey says, I remember owning a limited edition purple colored Alien B. Like, ooh, shoot. You don't have it anymore. I would honestly, if I damn, what the heck am my Alien? Do I still have any? No, I sold them. If I did have an Alien B, I'd have it on a shelf or something, just be like, dang, that's where it all came from right there. Rainey says, I remember owning, excuse me. Roy says, if I didn't have dozens of Godox lights, I'd buy some Westcott. Profoto are good, but overpriced. Wah, wah, wah. No, you're definitely right. Like what I did like about Profoto is the recycle time is crazy fast. And every time it fires, it's like the consistency of power is there and the lighting temperature. So if you want accuracy, shorter recycle time and all that. But I believe the Godox Pros, right, are supposed to have like a shorter recycle time and trying to compete with that. So, and that, what is it, the 800, that new one is supposed to have crazy good recycle time too for action. So, but Profoto is really, really good out of the box, like every time with those variables, shorter recycle time, color accuracy, color consistency. Anyway, Roy Bigsby says, my Ellen Chrome were stolen from my car, so I bought Godox. Dang, sorry to hear that. I've had my car broken into too many dang times. It's part of the reason why I want to move, to tell you the truth. EF Sue says, can't beat Godox ecosystem. Yeah, this ecosystem is really hard to beat. When you can get a mini flash and a huge 800-watt studio strobe and they all work on the same remote, like, that's crazy. And it gives you a lot of ideas. You're like, what can I do with all these little lights? And it isn't like it's still included in your workflow, or like your, like, how do I say, your lighting options, right? You like, what can I do with this little one? I also have this huge one. I can do this, I can do that. It's just cool. I like that. And you just need one remote. That's the best part. And all the latest remotes from Godox are all USB-C charged. Love it. So that's just been me. Yeah, you're right. EF, so you can't beat the Godox ecosystem. It is pretty darn handy. No complaints from me. Okay. Here we go. So, all right, sorry about that. I had to text somebody. All right, we're looking pretty good. Let's get to the main event, okay? Because all right. Let's get to the main event. Let's get to this news. Where in the blue blazes am I? There we are. Now we're going to talk about the main event, the Nikon Z9 Mark II flagship camera rumors. These are just rumors now. Don't come killing me, all right? It's just a podcast, all right? Let's get to it. All right. Let's take a look. Many of you probably already saw this, because it's been 4 days, really. But I just want to talk about this. I really thought this is really cool stuff here. And I love going over rumors. Some people are like, I don't talk about rumors because they're rumors and who cares? It's a waste of time. I was like, it's fun to speculate. That's the whole point about speculations, okay? I like to speculate, all right? So if you like speculating on latest Nikon rumors, come to my channel, subscribe, because guess what? I will talk about it. I like it. If it's news, we're going to talk about it. Here it is. Here is a new set of rumor Z9 II camera specs. Keep in mind that early leaks are usually not 100% accurate. I always kept that in mind, all right? If they're a rumor, guess what? I assume they're not 100% accurate. But doesn't mean some of it is not right. See, that's the thing. All right. That is the ticket. So let's take a look. 46 megapixel stacked CMOS image sensor. Instead of using a global shutter, it uses a new stacked sensor that is 3.5 times faster than the Z9. Damn, that's good. Sheesh. If I could curse. With X-Sync speed up to 1/720th of a second, bringing it close to global shutter camera speed. Dang. So it's like, we're going to give you pretty much a global shutter without a global shutter. Maybe it's due to cost. Maybe it's due to other limitations, like I believe, what was it, the low light performance in the, what was it, the Sony A1 or something or other. I'm sorry, I'm not really familiar with Sony cameras. But what I heard about it, because I tried it out when I was at WPPI, it is crazy awesome. But I heard the low light might have been an issue. I could be wrong. Let me know down in the chat. New EXPEED processor, a low native ISO 32. Damn, can deliver medium format like image quality. So it's global shutter like, medium format like, right? New AF system, with significantly improved tracking performance and focus and accuracy. I have to give it up to Nikon for consistently addressing autofocus. Okay. I still hear channels where people are like, oh, they're autofocus. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing where the autofocus doesn't hit. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing with these cameras? What do you expect too? And um I've always been winning with my cameras. And guess what? When I shoot fashion shows, they're walking right toward me. That's like the most annoying, or how can I say, the biggest pressure for autofocus is usually when the subject's walking dead into your camera. Um, I with my Z8, I don't have issues. Z6 Mark III, like, what do people do? So I'm glad that they're further attacking autofocus because there's going to be less room for error when it comes to people's expectations and experience of autofocus as we get more features. They're just going to expect more from these cameras. So that's great. Raw continuous shooting up to 60 frames a second at full resolution and 120 frames at DX format. That's cool. All right. Raw continuous shooting up to 60 frames a second. That's a lot of dang photos. Now, if I hear anybody, let's just say this is real. I am going to literally go crazy if someone says like 60 frames and 60 raw frames a second, full res, and still find a reason to complain. I'm literally going to jump out of my brown skin. Okay. I don't even shoot over 20 frames. Like, what the hell are you doing? You need more than 20 frames. Fine. You're shooting a hummingbird. Okay. I don't know, some sports or whatever. You have pre-capture. Most of our cameras could do 30 frames a second easy, 60 frames. And if you find a reason to complain at raw continuous, I have to make a video about you. Okay. That's what's going to happen. All right. All right. Support for 12-bit R3D and E raw video up to 8.3K. Look, folks, I'm not sure. For those who've been King Kruk, Roy Bigsby, Rakesh, a few of you guys who have been watching my channel for a long time, Anthony Good, I talked about this. I said about having an 8K, of course, open gate. That's for Z9 II. There's been so much demand for open gate, and it's really not a big deal because what open gate automatic, yeah, you could shoot two formats at once, cool, and people are like, you don't need it, you can just back up a little bit and get more space. Look, fine, but having the option means I can use it. Okay, so give me the dang option because the technology exists. Secondly, it sets that mount up, sets up that camera to do what? Have anamorphic lenses attached. You can have internal D-squeeze, no problem. Okay? Open gate, 60 frames. Oh, that's going to be great. R3D and E raw, cool. I hope the sensor that it talks about, this new, what does it say? New stacked sensor that's faster, has a color science that's perhaps closer to red when in video. That would be great, right? All right. Nikon also introduced multiple new film simulation LUTs for the Z9 II and legacy cameras with more natural, appealing visuals in both photos and stills. That's a huge thing. I mean, honestly, Lumix was the first to do real-time LUT and implement personable LUTs into their camera systems, a GH5, GH6, 7, and all the Lumix full frames, right? So Nikon has really went full hardcore into that. I love that idea. I like being able to preview my LUT while filming and still shooting in N-Log and RAW, or all the RAWs. So that's really cool. All right. The Z9 II will have mainly new red video features. And that I already knew was going to happen. I already knew that was going to happen. They're going to take a lot of that red technology, the pro grade features, and stuff it into the Z9 II. They're going to want this thing to be the ultimate photo video camera, bar none, whatever they could throw at it. Because that's what they did the first time. They did that the first time. They're doing it now, and they're going to double down on it with a new sensor, supposedly, new processor, and all this other jazz. So that's cool news. My only issue is going to be the size of this freaking behemoth. Okay. The Z9 II will have many new red video features. Oh, excuse me. 5760K .EVF from the Nikon Z6 Mark III. Okay, cool. I mean, a good EVF is great. Content credentials. Okay, so you'll have content credentials. Nikon already mentioned that, but that's cool too for those who are professional. Now, here's my thing about the, well, first let's go to comments and I'll give you my overall opinion about the Z9 II spec rumors, okay? So don't come at me. All right, folks, let's go back to here. Let's check out these comments. Oh, look at that. We got the home. Okay. We got Roy saying, out of the box, Sony is still better AF, but fine-tunes Nikon is better. I think we're not Sony, definitely for video, they seem to be smashing it in that autofocus area. But what I'm celebrating is how serious they are taking autofocus and their intention to further improve it. Right? They're not just selling that it's good. They're like, look, we're getting better every time, and we're not even done. So I got to give them credit where credit is due. Okay. We got Cam Mackey in the house. I wish I had my sound effects, bro, but I don't have it. Hey, man, I've been watching a lot of your stuff lately. I really like your channel. I love how you grade it, that's for sure. And I love your approach to content creating. And honestly, you, Coffee, who else? Brandon Washington, a few dudes that are just like really just genuine folks. I just really enjoy watching them. And believe it or not, I actually watch your entire live stream. When I put on live streams of other creators, I watch the whole thing, okay? Because first of all, it's free to do, and it helps them out in small, significant way. But also, it's great to listen to. Like, I just like hearing the conversation. And a lot of times I'm the only photographer in my room. So it's like I'm get to hear more about gear and stuff without like being sold from a freaking commercial from Nikon, right? So shout out to you, Cam Mackey. I really do enjoy your content and your channel and everything. If it don't have red compression or traffic lights, it's gonna be a pass for me, purchase-wise. You know what? I could totally see that. That's why I wish they just had a dedicated, like I said it earlier, Kim. I'm not sure if you heard, but I was like, give me a like, I don't know, like a Nikon like mini red or something, would be phenomenal. I would love that. It would be like a true Nikon red camera. Gosh, that'd be nuts because it would be full frame, right? A Z mount, but like red, meaning or red with Nikon autofocus. That'd be dope. But red, not only sensor, color science, but also like what else would it be? Excuse me, I'm like oh shoot. Tip my tongue. Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. But if you just had combined the two and make a red that's full frame with Nikon autofocus, that'd be kind of wicked. But thanks a lot for tuning in, Cam. Thank you for the comment. And Roy, I'll complain about 60 frames a second. Too much work to process that. Oh yeah, I mean, damn. Imagine going through those photos. You're just like 60 of them. But you know what? Lightroom does auto culling for you now. So it uses AI to cull your photos. So it might be able to help you get through those 60 photos you just took in 1 second. King Krug, Rob, please go into spec analysis. It turns to online beef. Quite funny. Dude, I get those comments sometimes. They're just so mad that I go over specs. And I'm like, dude, it's honestly, to me, rumors are fun. Like, we love half of this photography stuff is like because we like geeking out over the gear, right? I'm not gonna buy it all. I'm not gonna tell you to buy it all, but it's fun to talk about, Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Like if I could, I would, but I can't buy everything, you know? But I like talking about it. Let's see here. If Sue says Sony A9 III has 1/80,000 second. Oh my God, that's crazy. If a Z9 II sensor is 3 times, then it would be 1/90,000th of a second. That would be nuts. If, right? Because it's a rumor now. If. But dude, that'd be nuts. It'd be like I couldn't even fake the sound of how quick that shutter would be. It'd just be like faster than a blink. Or like 1/90,000th of a second would be like this. I even think it would be quicker than that. Correct, Rob, I want Nikon to make their own sensors. Ooh. If they make their own sensors. I think that if for them to make their own sensors, they would have to have a market that's bigger than photographers to sell that sensor to, right? It's like when you make glass, because Nikon does so much glass, they sell so much to other industries because of their cameras and their glass. I think they would need the same demand in order to have a manufacturing plant as well outside of photography, so that they could actually get a return on that investment. Because Sony sells their sensors to so many other companies besides themselves. So I think that's what helps to justify why they can make it for their own cameras. I could be wrong though. I'm no, but that's the logic that I'm using. Rainey says it's fun. Exactly, it's fun, man. This stuff's supposed to be fun. Like, why do I come to YouTube if I'm trying to be all mad? I would have stayed on Twitter if I want to be mad. Rainey says, and I will never be ashamed of it. I won't either. That's why, I wanted to talk about it. And do I think if it came with Open Gate, would I be upset? No. If it didn't, cool. Honestly, I love the Z9, but I'm more of a Z8 camera guy. So if a Z8 II is really where I'm gonna try to plant my flag. Let's see. We're looking good. Roy says Nikon made their own sensors on cameras like the D5, and they were once a huge chip make before ADML took over. Oh, so okay, so there's a certain shift there, and Roy knows like this. Roy knows. Okay, that's really interesting. I wonder why things shifted. What I do appreciate about Nikon is that they really, when they did get into mirrorless, they really threw a lot at these cameras. But I've yet to see a camera that's absolutely perfect. And if you did find one, it probably cost a lot of money. Right? It probably would. I listen to a lot of other creators, and we all want something different or complementary to each other. And if you put 10 of us in the same room, we probably still couldn't come up with the perfect camera that has everything we want, right? Because what's really good for video, maybe the photography won't like the form factor, right? The ZR form factor for photography is not that nice. That's why I never got into Sony. I didn't like the form factor, the little boxy hard edges and slippery grip. It was kind of slippery and small at the beginning. I could never. You go from Nikon to a Sony grip? Hell no. Back in the day, no. So it's like all those things. So it's like, but they have good autofocus. But the Nikon is like super robust, and it was great for stills, and never an issue with stills. They only compared Nikon to Sony when it came to video autofocus performance. So it's like you put 10 of us in the same room and say, what's the best camera? Mofos won't be agreeing. Okay, there will be a scrap. All right. Let's see. The question really should be, what's the best camera for you? What makes you excited to shoot? Like many of you know, I miss my Nikon ZF. Now, is that the best thing since sliced bread? Absolutely not. But it's super freaking fun. And if it's fun for you, if you like it, I love it. All right. That's the camera you should get. For real. That's why I still have the Z6 III and I still have my Z8. I'm like, yo, the ZR looks super awesome and everything, but I swear, knowing my luck, as soon as I get the ZR, they'll have something that's like the one I really should have waited for. So that's the only reason why I'm holding off on it. And then guess what? In Lumix, I still have the Lumix S5 II and the S5 Mark II X. I love those two cameras. You know, when the S1H Mark II comes out, I'm selling the S5 II like in a heartbeat, though. King Krug says, is ADML starting to plateau? Okay, that's a Roy question. I hope he gets back to you on that one. Okay. And Randy says the Z8 would have been perfect for me. The Z8 is a phenomenal camera. Like if you do photography, you'll never go wrong with that Z8. It's super robust. I mean, I am a boy. The way I treat the cameras, you know, I should have gotten arrested. Hello. Randy says, the overheating is the only thing I hate about it. Yeah, that is true. That happened to me once in a wedding in San Jose. It was 110 degrees. And with the heat of my hand and the heat in general, that was the only time it ever overheated, was in San Jose, 110 degrees. Never has since. But boy, I'm glad I had two cameras at that time. Roy Bigsby says, I got a PDF manual from MPS for a piece of Nikon gear from the 1950s. Oh, shoot. Okay. And then Randy says, Sony has, oh, okay, getting these comments. Sony was a joke to hold. Yeah, it was. Dude, it just wasn't comfortable. It was hard for me to really like try to get behind this new brand that's really making strides and moves and being innovative with their marketing as well as technology. But it has to feel good in my hands, you know? The ZF is kind of, I mean, they purposely made it that way, but like to hold it without a grip on there, if you didn't buy that small rig grip, even a ZF is a little, ooh, you know, because their plastic on it where the grip is like kind of slippery. But once you buy the grip, it's just fine. Let's see here. Randy says, if you have those Lumix, you are covered. Yeah, I mean, the Lumix S5 Mark II X gives me ProRes internal, open gate, all sorts of cool features, anamorphic support, you know, 4K 120, though it is cropped, 4K 60, though it is cropped, 6K. I mean, Lumix colors are super easy to work with. I really like Lumix. But now this year, like I promised, I'm going to be shooting more video with Nikon. And if I was home, I'd be streaming with the Nikon Z6 Mark III as my webcam. Randy says, for video, the ZF shut down for video too. Dang. Yeah, the ZF is not like the way I approach the ZF with video is like, oh, I need video in a pinch. It'll do the job. I even rigged it out. If you look on my channel, I did a whole video rig with the ZF, but I would use it in a pinch, right? I wouldn't buy that camera like, oh, I need to shoot video. I'm going to buy a ZF. No. Absolutely not. But if you need it in a pinch, you need to do some vlog, you need to record some B-roll, you're fine. Okay? You need a dope photography camera, like a still camera that can do some video or use it for live stream. Cool, you're in there. Just know what you're getting. I mean, I think sometimes people buy things not knowing really truly the capabilities of the camera and that it works for their workflow or not. They really don't do their homework. Let's see. Randy says for video, the ZF shut down for, oh yeah. Pics by Patrick, RAW or JPEG. I shoot both. When I shoot stills, I shoot both. All my photos, let me see if I can share with you guys. Let's go to Robinson Photography. Cool. Share this. All right, let's go here. On my website, okay, all these photos I shoot RAW and large JPEG fine on Nikon. I shoot RAW, okay, as uncompressed as possible, and then JPEG fine. All right, so everything you see, Nikon, 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 all the stuff, okay? Okay, yeah, I think that might have been Nikon. There's a couple that's Lumix, obviously. I've shot photography with Lumix, but this is D850 right here, D850, you know, all shooting RAW and JPEG, whether it be a Lumix or Nikon, more than likely Nikon. Nikon, 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 Nikon. This is Nikon, Nikon, Nikon. This was in my living room right here. This was a living room shot. This one right here. Okay. When I first got my Godox 8600, I got two of them. I thought I was the man in my living room. That might be Lumix actually. This I believe is Lumix. Nikon, Nikon. This is Panasonic. Okay. Nikon, 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 Nikon. So mostly Nikon, folks, okay? But always RAW and JPEG fine, okay? Royce said, camera stop using brass too soon. Metal transfers heat better than plastic. Oh, that's a very good point. And Randy says, it's fine in photo. I bought a beefy grip from China for my ZF. Love it. Yeah, and when I had the ZF and I put that small rig grip on there, it felt perfect. I really enjoy that camera. It'll always be one of my faves by Nikon for sure. Okay. I did a blacked out camera skin. Ooh, dope. I'd like to see what that looks like. King Kruk says, Rob, NRAW has plenty of latitude. You'll have tons of fun color grading. You know what? And then what am I doing lately? Yes, I already know NRAW is pretty sweet. I tend to lean to ProRes just because of the versatility in terms of like editing options. But because it works really well in DaVinci and Premiere. And I thought, I could be wrong, but I thought NRAW, you need to use Nikon's editing thing. And I will never do something like that. I'd always record a codec that's like universally accepted across multiple editing platforms. That would be crazy for me to only have to use Nikon. So screw that. But that's, yeah, no, 100%. 12-bit. JPEG is only good enough to give to art directors. Ooh, Roy, dang. Shot across the bow. Actually, I got in the habit of shooting both because one time when I went to New York Fashion Week, my hard drive went kaput. My external hard drive had tons of photos and most importantly, client work on there. And when I recovered stuff, it was easier to recover the JPEG. So now I'm like, you know what? Shoot both. Because if I had the high res JPEGs, I would have gotten away with the project. You know, wouldn't have been my finest moment, but it would have worked. Rainey says, question, why doesn't Nikon RAW files thumbnails show up on Mac? Oh, that's a good question. I always go straight to Lightroom, but that is a good question. I think because it's not a freaking Apple file, right? Like if you had a QuickTime or something, you know, it would accept it. It could be that. That's their thing, you know. Let's see here. Rainy, yeah, send me he says I'll send you on IG a pic of the setup. Yeah, send that to me, bro. Like DM me. Okay. Rainy says, nah, NRAW works in Resolve. Oh, okay, dope. Okay, Rainy, thank you for letting me know that. That's dope. I didn't know that. I thought at first it only worked for Nikon's like proprietary crap. And I was like, hell no, I'm not going to do that. Record a whole project and only could use their stuff. So knowing that it does, that's pretty dope. Okay. It's fun to, what he says, when he says it's fun to work with. Okay, that's what's up. Dang, guys, you guys are selling. Okay, you're about to chew up my hard drives with this NRAW action. I'm going to test it out because I will be shooting raw video when I get back, testing out some ND filters. So OM battery grips are safer than third-party batteries and often allow you to use batteries and grips that Nikon has stopped us from being used. Oh, dope. Okay, I will check them out because I want to buy one for my Nikon Z8. Okay, I was looking at them, and there's no way I'm paying for the Nikon version for 300 something dollars when I could get one for over $100. Ken Krug, I use my ZR's bare bones. The batteries are so good, I hardly use mounts on it now. Dang, that's what's up. Wow, bare bones, straight up? You don't put a cage on it? Okay. Roy Bigsby, I miss it when Nikon cameras made TIFFs. Big but compatible everywhere. Yeah, I like TIFF files too. I like TIFF files too. I miss when Nikon came. Oh, wait. Rainey says, I sent you the IG pic. Dope. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Look, I have to get out of here. My voice, like, I feel it right here. I've been talking for 2 hours now. I wanted to keep the stream for an hour, believe it or not. That was my goal at first. I was like, all right, I'm on vacation. I'm going to stream for just a quick hour. And here we are 2 hours later. Okay. So with all that said, thank you, Rainey. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you liked the live stream. Remember, guys, if you enjoyed the stream and you like this kind of content, please smash that like, share, subscribe. It really does help me out. If you really want to further support what I got going on, become a member of this channel. It's only like $2.99 or something a month, okay? It's really not a lot, all right, folks? But it really does help me out so I can dedicate more time to bring you some cool content. And remember, as a member of this channel, you will be able to be a part of the members only podcast, the live stream show called Coffee and Cameras, which I host every month in the morning time. Okay. So the next episode will be coming up soon. You can see, look at that guy there holding that cup of coffee. Okay. So with all that said, everybody, I really appreciate you all tuning in to this live stream. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, E.F. Sue, Roy Bigsby, Rainey in the house. We got Rakesh. Thank you so much. Ken Kruk. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. And of course, you already know. All right, hold on. Let me go. There we go. You already know. I'm Robert Silver. And until next time, keep shooting and stay creative. Thank you for watching, everybody.